right, everyone. So please join in the fun. Let me make this big so we have no distractions, and that's not how you make it big. Uh, okay, I cannot make this big for some reason. Oh, full screen. That's full screen with tabs. Okay, fine. That's fine. As long as it works for everyone, then yes, please join in. You already gave away the spoiler, so we're gonna be doing this not the traditional way because I don't like death by PowerPoint. And you all work today all day, and you're here in the evening, so I want to make this fun. And hopefully today what you're gonna do is learn stuff, and of course this reinvent recap. So what we're gonna do is take a tour through releases and announcements and also some fun stuff. And I'm going to tell you how this all works in a second as soon as you join. Yes, there are emojis, emoji away. There's only one crying emoji, but you can use that to throw me away. Go for it. I realized like the other day, I thought, oh, there are no bad emojis actually. And then I realized it's a setting, but it's a default setting. I'm not like just, make you be happy about everything. So there is like a sad one. So throw me away there and emoji away so I know how you're feeling. While you do that, so as I said, my name is Matheus Guimarães. I am the senior developer advocate for the UK and Ireland, and that means two things: 50% of the time I spend doing this fun day stuff, content creation, public speaking, and all that kind of stuff. The other 50% I look after the region. I look after the UK and Ireland to make sure that you guys have events, workshops, demos, opportunities to engage with AWS, start your journey, continue your journey, or just simply continue learning and network with each other. That means I work very closely with my beloved community as well. And I'm also a gateway between you and AWS. So any feedback, please, I love having conversations after, before, during social media, whatever it is, because I'm constantly bringing this into product teams and, just different departments and orgs to make sure that you are heard and happy. So as I said, I do work with the communities a lot. In the UKI, we actually super healthy in terms of AWS communities. We all doing this now, January, kicking off the year, and I heard massive compliments about the UKI and our presence of a community, all thanks to you guys and other ones. And in the UK, you got loads of them. There's the Brighton one, there's London, there is in the north, you got Leeds, York, lots of them. Ireland, Scotland, anywhere you go, you can find a AWS user group. What is a AWS user group? It is a community. These guys are not paid by AWS. They are not, there's no like direct sponsorship, but they are officially recognized because of the amazing effort they do. And we provide them with vouchers, with swag, and with as much help as we can to keep this community alive. So this is for you, is to keep the tech scene in a local area alive. So please support these guys. Please keep coming and keep recommending the Brighton UG group. So amazing things like this can happen. And speaking of amazing things, so I am on a tour across the country, the region, countries, and I don't know when it started anymore. I lost track. I don't even know what day is today, really, to be honest. Is it? It may be. I don't know. But it started early January, and it's still going. So if you like this, feel free to recommend and tell your friends. We just done a 3-hour webinar yesterday, a virtual one, and where I hosted that with Gunnar, my fellow DA, the equivalent of myself in the Nordics. And then we had all these other DAs who are experts in the areas. And that's going to be available on demand. So look up Reinvent Recap EMEA if you want like a full 3-hour reinvent recap if you can't get enough of it. What we're doing here today is not that. I'm not going to go through every PowerPoint slide and things like this, or demos or deep dives. What we're doing is something a little bit different. So I do have a wheel of fortune usually, and this is the way I did this tour last year when it was much smaller. And now it's just gone a lot bigger. I used to have a wheel, and then I spin it, and then it would fall within one of these categories, and then I would just cover all the announcements in that category, then rinse and repeat. There were also some fun spaces there, but that's usually how it worked. Now, what I'm going to do is different. I am actually just going to go quiz driven, beginning to end, and we're going to have a wheel, but it's going to serve a little bit of a different purpose. I'm going to go through every category. I'm going to do one question about one of the announcements from Reinvent and then cover that announcement with you. So you discover that or reinforce your learning if you already came across it. Then we're going to have a wheel just like that, where I'm going to spin is going to fall into one of the AWS services that had an announcement. And then I'm just going to give a random announcement about that service, whatever comes up. Keep challenging myself. Yes, I know all of the reInvent announcements. And then we're going to do a bonkers question, nothing to do with AWS, just tech, just fun, around the ballpark of the theme. And then we're going to have a leaderboard and see who's coming up first or second or third. Why do we have a leaderboard? Because we have prizes. And I have rubbish prizes up to halfway through this tour. And I have much better prizes. And God, I just remembered this is being live streamed. So whoever watches this from the past events are not going to be happy with me. But I've only managed to secure this recently. So in Scotland, I gave away AWS umbrellas because I thought it was very fitting for Scotland. But for Brighton, I have Amazon vouchers, no AWS credits, Amazon vouchers. Because, right? Once in a live stream, I said Amazon vouchers and it was AWS credits. I got in so much trouble. I did sort them out in the end, but no, this is Amazon voucher. So first place at the end of this, we'll have a £50 Amazon voucher. That's £50. You can buy lots. Yes, you can buy lots of Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth with that. Second place, £25. Third place, £25, right? And if you somehow manage to tie among three places, maybe you get it all. That's not possible, by the way. So let's see how this goes. So we're going to start with a little poll. And by the way, AWS people, feel free to join. I know you're there, but you don't get Amazon vouchers, surprisingly enough. But do feel free to join, especially because it's really fun when the community completely trumps AWS people in knowledge. If people come first. So try to come first. You just won't get a prize. Okay, cool. Don't cry. So we're going to start with a warm-up. Submissions are locked for now. So I'm going to unlock, and you're going to have 10 seconds. So I want to know, what are your favorite topics? This is interesting for me, for these guys, so they know what kind of things to put on as content, and also just so that I know what I can prioritize if I start running out of time. So here we go. Submissions unlocked. 10 seconds. Go. Flip, 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 flip. And while that goes on, I need to ask you guys, what are we doing then? Half an hour break, no break, 1 hour, what are we doing? So I can time it. Just go. All the way to 11 p.m.? Yeah? Don't joke. I actually did a very hardcore live stream. reInvent, actually. reInvent, I did a 4-day live stream all day at reInvent from the floor. Okay, so what do I do? Count how many minutes is this going to be? So I can... 40? Should we do 40? I'll put 40, see what happens. All right, let's see. Boom, compute first, no surprise. I'll tell you, every single city I've been to, compute has been first. Now, of course, before, like last year, I had serverless, and serverless was always like, over there. But I don't have serverless. I don't have serverless, John. And serverless kind of rose into compute anyway. So probably that is why this is ranking high a lot. But yes, compute. And one of the reasons why I don't have serverless is because we've been releasing a lot of serverless stuff over the past years, almost being a theme, right? Every reinvent is, what is the next thing that we're going to offer serverless? Now, we have one serverless thing coming out this reinvent, but not so many other ones. Why? Because things are now pretty much all caught up. A lot of the services that you guys use are either serverless already, you can look it up, or the things are coming out serverless already, out of the oven. That's the era we're living now. So compute summarizes it better right now. Second, security. Look at that. Something that devs usually don't like. Now it's starting to rank really high. And I have to say, almost every city, security has been high. Usually it's been third, not second. So that's really cool, actually. I'm really surprised by IoT. There is no other city that IoT passed like the 0 point something %. So this is, wow. All of you love IoT? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So maybe clearly more than AI. Did you sabotage this? This has become second in every single city. Oh, you took him seriously? You take this guy seriously? Okay, cool. So AI ML, I think like it's just because everybody's talking so much about generative AI that's starting to cause, the opposite. People are going, no, la la la. That's probably why, right? Okay, just one more out of curiosity. Oh no, I actually chopped that up because of time. I was gonna ask who's been to reInvent. I can just get a raise of hands. Who went to reInvent? Right, all the AWS people, surprisingly enough. Okay, who has ever been to reInvent, no matter the year, no matter when? Okay, cool. You guys enjoyed it? Yeah, good. It's intense, but good, right? I usually recover from it just about now, this time of the year, after Christmas break and all that. Okay, ready for AIML? Of course you are. You love it, according to the pool. You to the pool, maybe as well. All right, so you gotta put a username. Please be funny, clever, smart, but not offensive. There is a tick for non-offensive. I have not tested it, and I don't want you to be my tester either. So um, yes, but feel free put your usernames in. I'm gonna wait for you guys to do that. And then probably what's going to happen, we're not going to have time to run through every section. So we at the end of every section, we can see if we fast forward to a different one. And then we'll just fast forward to the end when the time comes. Right, come in. Carlos Fandango, Attila Jamir C. Is that in homage to the language? And I don't know if there's anybody watching. Is this live streaming, actually? Can we turn this into karaoke then instead? But anybody watching at home, feel free to join as well. Uh, well, we can always do one tonight. Yeah, feel free to join. QR code. I'm gonna leave it here in case somebody joins the live stream at some point. So I'll leave that on the screen. Feel free to join. Okay, right. I'm gonna start it. Okay, you guys ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Question 1. Your workload requires you to generate translated text. Which Amazon Titan model is suitable for all of you that did not vote to AIML as your favorite thing, which is all of you? Time's up. And by the way, I've been trying to do accents wherever I go. I don't know what is the Brighton accent. So, okay. Say time's up. Are you from Brighton originally? Say time's up. Time's up. That's what I'm gonna say. So okay, cool. So we have yeah, a lot of people got it right. Titan Text Express. So you may have heard of Amazon Titan. Have you heard of Amazon Titan? Yeah, some nods. So this is yeah. So this is a family of foundation models that we released from Amazon. Now you may have heard of something called Amazon Bedrock. Bedrock is our server, which came out of the oven serverless, and it's a portal to multiple foundation models. And this is the vision that we are delivering, that Swami clearly stated on his keynote, and before that, actually the London Summit keynote last year, that not one model will rule them all. This is our vision, and this is what Bedrock delivers. Not even ours. However, we have many, and that is alongside the our partners and other third-party models that you can use through Bedrock. Our models are called Amazon Titan, and this reInvent, we released a few of them. So we already had text embeddings. Is everybody familiar with embeddings? Do you know what an embedding is, or vectors? Very quickly, vectors or vector embeddings is pretty much the representation to machines of what real objects are, so we can actually understand it, right? And the way he does it is just by mapping objects into arrays. So if you imagine a water bottle, it will put into a vector. What is a vector? You can see it as an array. You know arrays? Much simpler, right? An array with, say, 10 numbers in it, you could say in AIML terminology, that is a vector with 10 dimensions, one for each one. And those dimensions will map features of the object. So for the water bottle, you may go, it's a container, not containers in Docker, like a container of liquids. So like that is a number 5, say, right? You will give a number 5. And then, oh, it's water, I'll give a number 10. Now you put a bottle of Coke and it's gonna go, oh, it's a container of liquids, number 5. But it's Coke, number 3,000 million, I don't know how much, right? Now, when you put that on a vector database and you query the vector database, it understands what that means, these arrays of numbers. So it's gonna go, oh, so you're gonna ask, is this bottle of Sprite similar to these things? And it's gonna go, well, it's a number 5, it's a number 5, it's a number 5. Yes, it is. How similar? Well, depending on how many dimensions you have, the more it can tell you, right? So these dimensions, these vectors, they take a lot of data, and for you to then store, and also you have to match that semantic query with a lot of input, right? This input is given in these foundation models as tokens, if you heard that before. Now, a token does not map into a word necessarily, because one word could be many tokens, could break down into many of those. But again, it's just a way that the machine learning models understand the text semantics that you're passing, right? So you got two text models in Titan. You got text light. As the name implies, it's a smaller one. It takes up to 4K tokens, and that means the input that you give into the machine. And you can use it for everything, really. It's a catch-all. You can use it for code generation, auto generation. You can use for recommendations. You can use for fine-tuning. You can use for all kinds of things. However, if you need more power, you go to Titan Express. Titan Express takes up to 8K, so it doubles on the tokens that it can take for context, right? And it has one clear advantage to Lite, sorry, which is Lite only does English. Express has over 100 languages under preview at the moment. So of course it will lend itself well to translations. However, that's not just why. It seems like an obvious link to make. Yeah, more language translation. It's not just that. It's that translations takes a lot of context, right? Otherwise you end up with those really stiff translations because you don't have enough context to understand, was this a joke, an expression, or whatever, right? So models need a lot of data to be able to make really good translations. So if you need a lot of data, if you need more, if it's something that requires more, Titan Express. And that will go for open-ended conversations and more complex things as well that you want to use. Last, we also had multimodal embeddings. And multimodal is just industry terminology, not the best terminology, but we have a Titan multimodal embedding, which just means image text pairs. So if I give a picture of a water bottle, it can relate to water bottle semantically as a sentence. And you can even customize them with what it's called image text pairs, almost like key value pairs, but it's image text pairs. And you just submit the image, the text, and then you can make the correlations and understand your thing. Lastly, Amazon Titan image generator. I think that one says it all, right? Cool. Amazon Teen Titans, it's not an AWS service, and it's just a bunch of DC heroes with a rubbish Netflix show, right? So, sorry, no. Season 1, maybe, not the other ones. No. Wonder Woman girl dies with lightning or whatever. Oh, come on. Right. So we're going to spin the wheel, and whatever service it falls in, then I'm going to just give a random announcement from whatever it falls under. Ooh. Let's see. Transcribe. This one's easy. Transcribe is, if you don't know, Amazon Transcribe, it helps you do transcribes, funny enough, one of those names that marketing got right, transcribes audio into text, right? And now at reInvent, we just announced, it's got over 100 languages under preview. I said that before, deja vu. Where did I say that? With Titan Text Express. Yes, it is not coincidence. It is using transcribe behind the scenes. That's why Titan Text Express has over 100 languages on the preview. So they both kind of sharing the same thing. Sorry, the other way around. Transcribe is using Text Express to do a bunch of stuff. Cool. All right. No, don't need to remove entry. Do you want to spin it again? No, had enough. You guys don't like AIML, so. You don't like AIML, so how about this for the bonkers question? Put this in chronological order. How do you train a machine model? You got 20 seconds. If you didn't like AIML, you're going to like it even less now. No, hopefully the intention is actually that you realize that it's not that intimidating to do it. You can even guide yourself through verbs, right? It's quite sensible training a machine model, actually. So sensible that, time's up. I forgot how you say it. I just sounded northern. Yeah, 3 people got it wrong. No people got it right, but it doesn't matter. Effectively, every time you do it, no matter how complex it is, it's actually quite sensible to get into it. The feedback I get a lot from developers and teams in general that are not doing AIML still is that it's quite intimidating, and there seems to be a lot, and it seems to be running really fast and evolving and changing, fine-tuning, pre-training in a RAG, whatever. So yes, but the foundation is actually quite sensible. And if you heard of something like inference, for example, all that means is using the model. So you ping it to say, hey, what about this? What about that? And it gives an output. So, if you map it through very sensible English sentences, it's not that hard. It's just how you're going to implement it. And there are many different ways to implement all this stuff. There's a SageMaker, Bedrock, among other things. You can even get a packaged service like personalized that packages all the AI ML out of there, and you don't even need to do anything. But that was just to give you a little flavor and also to catch you up. Let's see leaderboard. John, is that good all? Is it? You didn't like AI ML and suddenly you're at the top. Damir, yeah, there you go. Shano, is that how I say it? Shano, okay. Is it Sean? Just stop it then. Okay, C. Where's C? So why do you look familiar? You did a talk. The text. No, no, no. Attila. Attila or Attila? Attila. Okay, perfect. I mean, there, all of you will be here at the bottom. By the way, this thing says call when I hover over it. I'm not gonna try it. It's very creepy. I have no idea what it does. I am not gonna be calling you. I haven't tried it, and I'm not gonna try it now. So don't worry about it. Hopefully not. Yes. Okay. Security. You love security, so everybody's gonna ace this, and tables are gonna turn. Okay, let's go. Why are you crying? It's security. You love it, Joe. Right. Which one of these is not a valid method for managing the security of your Amazon S3 data or data? And you only got 10 seconds on purpose. You got to read fast. It's a test of reading as well. Itchy. Oh, how did you say it again? Accent. How'd you say time's up? Time's up, whatever he said. All right. So, yes, because if you were able to set a username and password to every single data you store in S3, that would be mental. Like you can barely keep up with all the websites and usernames and passwords, whatever. Can you imagine if you did that in your company? That would be crazy. So hopefully that will never be true. However, yes, you can do the other two. And this is in relation to something that we launched now at reInvent called S3 Access Grants. And this is, some will say, yet another way of giving permissions and managing your security in S3. And you'll be right, because now there are four. This is the fourth way. First one, traditional, will be bucket policy in conjunction with IAM user policy. And this is good. If you're like a startup, if you're a small company, or you have a small team, depending on how you segregate your teams in your company, that's fine. But there is a size limit to it. So you're gonna hit the limit if you start getting very, complex requirements or a lot of people. So once you hit the limit, you're gonna go, what's the next thing? You then grow to number two, which will be access points. And a lot of people use access points these days. And it just means exactly what it says on the tin. You give access to certain parts of your S3 or even to the same data set through different access points, and you can have separate access point policies on each one of them, which means then you can just customize it and then just share the right ones with the relevant parties so they have the right access. Now, that's great. It works up to, like, say, medium size, but there's multiplicity in that, right? That's a lot of stuff for you to manage if you start growing to a more enterprise solution where you have loads of requirements and loads of users, a lot of access points. So then you grow to the third one, which will be to do like a credentials vending machine pattern type of solution. And you can do that with your partners, with our partners, your partners too, and or you could do it yourself, right? And then number four, S3 Access Grants. It's effectively a credentials vending machine solution that we built for you, for S3 specifically. So you don't have to do anything else. You can just use it. And it's pretty simple. Like you can map it, your users or your groups in your identity provider to data in S3. So it's kind of bringing it back to basics. I love stuff like that. A lot of abstractions and things happening behind the scenes. You don't have to worry about that. And you can do that you can connect to any identity provider that you have by using IAM Identity Center, which can serve as a portal to things like Active Directory, Okta, Ping, whatever you have, right? Or you can use IAM Identity Center as your identity provider as well, if you want. Once you do that, then you can start mapping things. Okay. Let's see. The Wheel of Fortune. There is sound actually, but I was told that sound was going to be complicated. So, inspector. It goes like, dun, dun. Inspector. So, inspector. Who is familiar with inspector? Okay. So here's the bonus question. I'll make it rhetorical since we may run out of time. So a lot of people ask me, wait, I don't get it. There's Amazon Inspector, there's Amazon Detective, there's Guard Duty. They all sound like they do the same thing. Like, do you think like, is that something that you share? Like, do you think like that? Because I get a lot of people going, I don't even get that. The shield for a bonus one. Okay, so let's clarify. Guard Duty is intrusion detection, right? If you want to think like that, it's all about, is that somebody like a bad actor trying to get into your systems? So suspicious activity of the kind that is malicious, right? Somebody actually doing a cyber attack, intrusion. Uh, Inspector is about code, software. So it's going to look at your classic stuff like, say, injection flaws, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, that kind of thing. So it's going to look at your code, say your custom Lambda code, and then try to find those security vulnerabilities in your code. That's what Inspector is about. Detective, as the name implies, it's all about like suspicious activity, but more suspicious than Inspector, because it's about Guard Duty, because it's about consolidating all these data sources, all these findings, and figure out if there's a correlation between them. So, for example, if somebody Guard Duty reported something yesterday 6 a.m. and then there's an entry inspector about something that happened at 6 p.m. in Detective, you can go, do these things make sense together? Was this the same person? Is this a coordinated thing, or are they completely separate things? Right? That's what Detective is about. So Detective is about the actual investigation and having tools and features that will help you with that investigation, right? Inspector, as I mentioned, is about co-vulnerabilities. So now at reInvent, we launched more things that it can look for, and that is more injection flaws, weakened cryptography, or missing cryptography, missing encryption, and data leaks. And also now Inspector has Gen AI. What do you know? And it's pretty cool, actually. So once you find something, it will actually give a recommendation. But wait, there's more. Not just a recommendation, you give code snippet. So very easy for you to patch, to do security patches on your software, because it may go like, oh, this will actually potentially give a SQL injection. And this is the snippet that you can do to fix it. Boom, boom, put it up, pull request, you're done, right? So security's never been easier. That could be the tagline. Okay, so, oh my God. Right, here we go. Bonkers question. For bonus points, or maybe not. Which term describes watching for and catching data packets passing through a network's traffic? 10 seconds. Phishing, sniffing, or ogling? Time's up. I did not say that in Brightonian. Yes, most of you got it right. Sniffing, not ogling. Although sniffing is just as creepy anyway. Okay, so leaderboard. John, you won those 50 pounds, don't you? Ah? Oh, yeah, sure, yes. Oh, would that be considered payment, actually? Maybe I should reconsider this. Well done, see? There you go. See, turning the tables. Damir, getting a run for your money there, literally, but you're still in the run. Carlos Fandango, I like the name. Who's Carlos Fandango? Oh, is that you? Ah, can you do the Fandango? Julian, I think I know who that is. And by the way, there are AWS stars over there in case all these guys. I don't even know why I'm here when you guys are here. You should be doing this. Jesus. So yes, this AWS royalty over there. If you guys want to talk to them about step functions, mostly, yes. Some of the services like step functions, Lambda, Event Bridge. Oh, Beck does a very cool talk where she dances, and it's a proper that I still haven't been able to catch it. I just know about it, but she does an Event Bridge dance as it got to be known. Okay, I just clicked something that I shouldn't have because this is your slide, right? Okay. Oh no. Back. Found it. And in the meantime, then I may as well give you more stuff. So why not? Oh no. Okay. Well, you do love security, so maybe I should actually give you more announcements. Okay, not this arrow then. This arrow here. There you go. Well, compute. But since you guys love security, why not? I'll give you another one. So detective, since I mentioned it now, and I'll link that with one of Guard Duty's announcements. Guard Duty, if you don't use it, you should. It's pretty cool. And one of the things that we released in Reinvent previous to this one was the ability to go container level, host operating system level on your EKS clusters. So if you run EKS, I know you do, and it can inspect and give you all the results of security findings, anything going dodgy in your containers, including if somebody's using that to mine cryptocurrencies, for example, things like that, and they will report that to you and give that to you. Now, at Reinvent, Guard Duty now made that available for ECS as well, which was something much requested. And then Detective now ingests that, both of them, EKS and ECS, into Detective to do correlations. And Detective also has Gen AI. Of course it does. What doesn't these days? And now what it can do is actually correlate things for you, or at least try to, and then you can review it. And Detective can go, I think this and this and this and this is the same thing. And I think what this is trying to do is, I don't know, penetrate your database, for example, because this looks like something, whatever, right? And then what it's going to do is generate group summaries by saying, this is what I think it is and why you should look into it, or why you should look into it. Pretty cool. All done for you. Okay, compute, everybody. Oh, you're sad part. You don't like security. You don't want your cyber attacks to be found. Understandable. Compute. All right, you love this again. So let's see the buzz. I don't see emojis. AWS Lambda concurrency limit is now 12 times larger. 10 seconds. True or false? San, ni, ichi, zero. Say no. All right. True. Boo. I really hope that the AWS people would false. So no, your concurrency limit is the same, right? You can still apply for raising your quotas and all that. Everything is normal. However, we have announced that now it scales, the concurrency scales 12 times faster. What does that mean then? Well, it can actually help you with your quotas, although the quota hasn't increased. Because what this can help you with is with noisy neighbor pattern. Does anybody know what noisy neighbor is? Not you guys. Okay, no. So noisy neighbor with Lambda is just a cutesy name for a pattern where your Lambdas will share your concurrency limit across the account, right? Not region, account. So what happens is if you put two applications that need a lot of concurrency, and this one needs a lot, right? Maybe it spikes or whatever it is, I don't know. And this one only needs a little tiny one. This one may hog all the concurrency limit in that AWS account. And this one will start erroring or throttling or whatever because it doesn't have enough, even if it just needs a tiny bit. So the recommendation still, AWS best practice, architecture recommendation is for you to separate those things still, right? If you have a noisy neighbor, separate them out into different AWS accounts. However, this can help you with that because now the Lambda scales 12 times faster. How does Lambda work? Once one frees up, it can take another request. So if this is processing 12 times faster, it will free up faster, meaning that this balance will be a little bit better and this won't hog everything for a long period of time. It will just free up those Lambdas quicker, right? Like I said, still separate them out, but it does scale much faster now. If you not too sure how it scaled before, it was between 500 and 3,000 concurrency limits, depending on the region. That was also a bit crazy and hard to track. But so if you were in a one given region, it would be like 1,000 for the first minute, and then the other one would be like 500, and then for every minute after, it would be like 500, which could be quite slow for some workloads. Now everything's 12 times faster. So you don't have to do anything, by the way. It's just doing that. It would just help you out. But be mindful of the catch of Lambda. And if you want to talk more Lambda, you can talk to these guys because they're the experts, not me. Right. So, only two options. Anybody uses EC2? Yeah. Okay. Loads. And it is EC2. I didn't rig this. EC2, we had new instances. Ta-da, of course we did. So the first one is Graviton 4. Anybody uses Graviton? Right. So I'm loving the synchronicity. Graviton 4, 2004. I hope they continue like that because it's so easy to remember. Yes. So Graviton 4 is now out, and we have one instance that is the RAG. If you want to wrap your head around how EC2 instances are named, R is memory optimized. Doesn't help, right? Because it should be M. M is general purpose. I don't know. I don't work for the EC2 team. So I just think about, if you see R, think memory, right? R. That is memory optimized instance. 8 means eighth family generation of that. And G means graviton. If you see I, that means Intel, for example, right? So RAG is our memory optimized new instance, eighth family, which is based on Graviton 4, is the first instance with Graviton 4. And Graviton is our own chipset that we developed, and that means it's ARM based, and that means that it's fully optimized for the cloud. So it understands how cloud works behind the scenes, meaning everything's optimized. You get lots of optimizations behind the scenes, your price performance, because remember, the less you compute, the more you save these days. And but it's all optimized for you, and then you actually get more power depending on the workload that you're doing. So it's amazing for that balanced workload. Of course, you may have specific needs for Intel based or AMD or whatever. So that's fine too. But if you are just looking for that balance of price, performance, and sustainability goals, this is great. Why sustainability? Because it's Graviton 4 now is up 60% less power it uses. So if you care about the planet, really good one for you to look into. Now, we also launched the U7i, and the U7i is high bandwidth memory. That gets a little bit more nerdy. It's like on the hardware level, but it's more bandwidth for the memory. That just means, in layman terms, souped up for memory, right? It's the best kind of memory you can get on an instance. Then you go to U7i if you need that. Why would you do that? Well, the RA7G, because memory optimized, is great for databases. So if you're going to host databases on EC2, then that's what memory optimized is good for, right? And you can actually speed up your database workloads by 40% with the RAG. So Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, whatever you want. Now, if you're gonna have more high scale database, if they're chunky, if they're beefy, or like SAP HANA or whatever, or even Oracle SQL Server, doesn't matter, then you go to the U7i because it has more bandwidth and it can deal with more. There are, by the way, incidentally, just in case you're interested, since a lot of you use EC2 here, also 3 new instances on our NVIDIA, GPU heavy intense instances. We got the G6, G6E, and the P5E, all like GPU based. So great for AI ML, which all of you love so much, according to the poll, but also games, which hopefully more of you like, and things like that. Anything that requires no GPU intensive stuff. Okay. Shamon. Okay, question 6. No bonus points for fast answer on this one. Doug Engelbart was the inventor of what computer accessory? I messed it up again. I only remember when this thing comes up that I put keyboard twice. Damn it. Every single time. This is like the 10th event, and every single time. Just pretend one is ergonometric or something. Okay, cool. Yes, you got it right. The mouse. And was made of wood. Can you believe it? A mouse made of wood. So much for our size, isn't it? Okay. Oh, yeah, it will be amazing. At least it probably didn't go click. No, it went clunk instead. Right. Leaderboard. John, unbeatable. No, unbeatable. 22 points coming up. Joe, that's new. Where's Joe? Yeah, there you go. See? Let me remind you, 50 pounds, people. Parky. Parky? Parky? Oh, cool. I like the name Parky. Carlos Fandango, we know who you are. And, well, let's just have a quick check. I'm not going to call you. Don't worry. Okay, I'm not going to. Oh, there it is. Jazz, Dara. Attila, what's going on? Oh, no. Okay, well, now was it? Yeah. Oh no. Okay, there's time to catch up. We got like about 15 minutes. I'm not gonna keep you here forever because you guys want to go home and have dinner, whatever. So this time is running. 15 more minutes, and then we'll see how you're feeling. For now, let's do DevTools and App Dev. Who's a developer here? Okay, cool. So maybe this one's for you. Let's see. Question. Oh, see, that's your chance to catch up. Question 7. Which one is the logo for Amazon Co-Whisperer? Something a bit left field. Something a bit less knowledge driven. And by the way, if you want to catch AWS people up on stuff, you do two things. You either tell them to recognize a logo or to say, ask if a service starts with Amazon or AWS. Yeah. I actually had a question like that, but I chopped it up in the interest of time. There you go. Yeah, lots of you got it right. And I purposely selected some that look like idea code looking. Yes, that is the one indeed with the little brain. Looks a bit SageMaker-ish, but it's not. That is Code Whisperer. Anybody uses Code Whisperer or have tried it at least? No? Okay. So sorry, didn't catch it. I'm gonna stay over here. But yeah, no, Code Whisper is our code companion. No need to call Sarah Connor. AI is not here to take over the world. It's just to work with you, right? To work with us. And Code Whisper is what we call like the next gen, developer experience. And now that has been married up with Amazon Q, another release that we had from reInvent. Amazon Q is everywhere. Unhelpfully, thank you, marketing. It had a very cutesy project name internally, and now it's Amazon Q everywhere. Amazon Q in Quick Sites, Amazon Q in Code Catalyst, Amazon Q in your console, and all that. Now, Code Whisper works with Amazon Q, so there are separate offerings, but it's also a companion for you to help you with your code generation, your code recommendations, and you can use that in your IDE. And he understands Python, he understands TypeScript, he understands a bunch of languages, a bunch of things. Now released at reInvent, he also understands CLIs, not just AWS CLI, hundreds of CLIs, Git, Docker, NPM, whatever. Really cool. You download the Code Whisperer app, and then in your terminal, you'll see recommendations, auto completion, and you can even do natural language. You can go, for example, I don't know about you, I've been using Git for 21 years. I'm old. And I still like, if I need to reverse a commit, I go, how'd that go again? Git dash FRF, I don't know. So you can just go like Code Whisper, go, I want to reverse my commit. And then it will give you the Git statement. You can revise and go, okay, yeah, that looks right. Execute or save it, edit, copy and paste, whatever you want to do, right? So it does that. Little footnote, unfortunately, sorry, Windows users, only for macOS for now. It does other things as well. Much requested. Code Whisper now supports CDK, both Python and TypeScript. And it also does CloudFormation now, JSON and YAML. So you can use Code Whisper for that. All right. Oh my God, please don't click that again. Here. Oh, who's that? Ben, you're impressed, I hope, or shocked. Okay. Ready, go. Dun, 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 dun. Woo. Co-Catalyst. Who uses Co-Catalyst? You should. Co-Catalyst is pretty cool, actually. It's like a one-stop shop for development and DevOps as well. So it is. It's not like a competing offer to other things. It uses a lot of our AWS services behind the scenes, and then just kind of compiles it all into one single UI experience that makes it very easy for you to get started with projects. It has blueprints. So, for example, if you want to get into microservices and you go, I don't know what is the, how do I do a RESTful microservice in AWS? I don't know. You can get a blueprint and you would do that and infuse AWS best practices, would do your standard stack, API gateway, DB, Lambda, and all that for you to then take it from there. You need another microservice? Click another one. Here we go. So Co-Catalyst does all that for you. Also does, like I said, CI/CD and all that kind of stuff. You can set it all up there. Now, Co-Catalyst has Gen AI. I should actually make that bonus thing. But actually super powerful. You can treat Co-Catalyst as a member of a team, like literally. So what this means is Co-Catalyst also has like an issues thing. So if you do a sprint planning or whatever on Co-Catalyst or import your issues there, you can then assign an issue to Co-Catalyst like you assign to any team member of your dev team. And then Co-Catalyst will go, okay, this is what you want to do. I know your code base because it's here, right, on Co-Catalyst, well, co-commit or whatever it is that you integrate with. And then it will actually create code. It will generate all the code to make that issue, to fulfill that issue, whether it's a feature or a bug or whatever. And then it will go to code review, just like anybody else. You're going to review the code, go, okay, Co-Catalyst, not quite, try again. Or that's great, go for it. And then he's actually going to create the code and do a pull request. And then off you go. You can integrate with your code base. You're done. So if you're looking to expand your team, and maybe try Co-Catalyst. I feel like I'm coming up with all the taglines. If any of these make into marketing material, I want a commission. Okay, just for fun, which is your favorite programming language? Submissions locked. I'm going to lock in a second. You're going to have to type super fast, which means that you come up with all kinds of misspellings that will be fun for us. Let's see. Submissions unlocked. Go. 15 seconds, actually. There you go. 5. My God, you guys are fast. You joking? Oh, okay. Is that what happened? Thank you for that added insight. And well done for realizing that there's no way to type C sharp, so you type C sharp. Right. Okay, submissions locked. Here we go. That is an interesting one. What is that meant to say? All right. That was a horseshoe. I was like, wow, I'm behind the times. This is like Prince, the artist, like just a symbol. All right. So Python, unsurprisingly, every single city, no joke. And this is also true for the tour last year. Python came up left, right, and center here. And I couldn't agree more. My favorite. Not my emotionally attached favorite one. That would be C, because that was my very first one. And assembly Z. That was my first job. I was programming for the Game Boy, and that was assembly until Game Boy Advance. That was C. But yes, Python is absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, sustainability wise, unfortunately, I love Python. I don't want to diss it, but it's not the most performant. Everybody knows this. There's been lots of studies proven time and time again to be very slow. Slow means if for certain workloads, but in general as well by comparison to other languages. Slower means more processing. More processing means more cost. More cost means also more processing. Back to it, which means bad for the planet as well. Sustainability. So Werner, in his keynote, encouraged people to try Rust. We also just GA'd Rust this reInvent. There is an AWS Rust SDK. It existed, we launched in 2020, but now it's gone GA. We took our time to take feedback and see how people used it. So now it's there and you can use it GA. Also Kotlin, which people ask why, if you could do that with Java SDK, because there are abstractions to make your life easy with Kotlin and do your Android apps or whatever. But Python, it's amazing. The multi-paradigm aspect of it is incredible. The accessibility to beginners, amazing. But don't be afraid to try new things, especially if you're into microservices pattern. Make use of those benefits, that technology independence, because Rust is super efficient. So maybe it's good to give it a go, not just for the sake of hashtagging, oh, Rust, whatever. Yes, it can sound annoying, if it's another thing that seems like to be pushed in the industry, but no, it is performant. It's scientifically proven. And Python, they're working on it, right? He said he's not going to do Python forever, so maybe Python 3 point something, will be more performant. But it's still amazing. I love Python, so I'm not dissing it. But Rust is pretty cool. Okay, I'm not going to comment on Java. There was 3 years of my career, 5 years of career. Cold Fusion and Max even, which compared to Java. No. John, you made 0 points, so I'm not sure you deserve to be there, but yes, okay. Joe, catching up. Joe, you came rushing into first place here. Parky, Carlos Fandango. Okay, come on. Oh, I see. Okay, so it looks like we're hitting time. So one more category and then it's over. Is that or break? 10 minutes. Do you guys want to break? I mean, I don't know. Are you guys okay? Okay, because you leave. Oh, it's that bad, is it? Okay, right. I'll tell you what. So what we do is to compartmentalize this. We just do one last section. So networking, skip. Yeah, okay. How about data? Databases, databases. I see. Okay, I saw some hands. Maybe database then. Okay. Yeah, no one cares about you. Plus, you're on the top. You need to be challenged. Which one of these is not currently unavailable zero ETL integration? Mm-hmm. Juni, Juichi, Ju, Q, Hach, Nana, Loku, Go, Yon, San, Ni, Ich. Say no. Okay. Ta-da! Yes, you got that right, most of you, scarily enough. um, zero ETL is incredible. The young will not appreciate this, but oh my God, old people like me appreciate this. So I led many different projects and digital transformation programs and stuff in my career, and there was always some ugly data pipeline project. They spiraled into many, resourcing and technological problems. So this is incredible. Like you have to appreciate the science behind this. Even you don't need to look at the architecture behind this. I don't even know if we published that, but DynamoDB, you put something in DynamoDB, it's immediately available in Redshift. Like what the, you're going like from key value, pair store, NoSQL to OLAP, warehouse, done for you, right? So now DynamoDB has zero ETL with Redshift. Redshift also has zero ETL with Aurora Postgre SQL, and then also RDS MySQL. Now there's also zero ETL to OpenSearch service from DynamoDB and from S3. And especially for DynamoDB, I find it amazing because a lot of you have websites, and one very, very usual pattern is that you have your website capturing information from your customer. So you're creating some kind of table where you have your customer name and address, whatever it is, and now you want then to be able to search stuff. So you're gonna have a product catalog and full stuff in that table, but you need to search. For you to search, you need to put on something like OpenSearch, right? And for you to do that, you need to completely change the way that data is stored, because now you need to index data, and you need to do all kinds of things that it does. And now you can just have the search bar on your website, plus all your product catalogs, say on DynamoDB, and just zero ETL. This can come from OpenSearch. This can come from DynamoDB. You're done, right? Without having to increase your pipelines, meaning freeing up time for you to do much more interesting things, like playing the quiz. So yeah, zero ETL, it's pretty amazing. I'm still amazed at everything. All right, so bum, 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 la, 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 Redshift. I just talked about Redshift. Does anybody use Redshift? Okay, well, well, Redshift actually is one of those stories that we have, which was all customer feedback. We kept getting feedback. Why don't you have your own warehouse? Why don't you have a warehouse? So it was born. Lambda is one of those stories of the 10% that we innovate on your behalf, because 90% what we do comes from you guys, from your feedback. And that is true. That's not marketing speak. But yeah, 10% we innovate on your behalf. Lambda is one of those. We created serverless. So nobody knew what serverless was because we invented it. But Redshift was one of those like, come on, guys. And we launched Redshift a long time ago anyway. And year on year, it's been competing with SageMaker for the most updates. And this year, no different. So there's so many updates. I don't even know which one to give you, but very quick one, multi-data warehouse write, which is actually also a bit mind-boggling when you think about architecture. But anyway, Redshift, if you have multiple clusters, multiple data warehouses, there was a concept of data share already. So you could put your data in the data share, but you could only read from it, right? You could do SQL queries or whatever, but read from it. Now, pretty simply, you can write to the data share as well, meaning that any clusters connected to it, the moment you write to it, all the other warehouses can see it immediately. So boom, talk about data sharing and reducing the ETL or ELT, depending on how you do things, even less. Pretty amazing. There are many other ones. There is generative AI, of course there is. So for example, you can create your SQL queries on Redshift editor. Now it supports foundation models and stuff. So you can actually now do natural language on it. It's Amazon Q, actually, I should say it right. So it's Amazon Q in Redshift query ML. And then you can just go, I want to get the top 5 sales in London, whatever. And then it's going to give you the SQL that joins everything and does everything. You can revise it, you can run it, and then that's it. You don't need to even figure out your schemas. And it can read the column names and derive meaning from the data stored, so that's why it's the whole ML side of it. It's quite smart. Okay, sure. Let's see. Here we go. It's 15 seconds. How'd you pronounce? Oh, is there, Mr. Smart Pants? Actually, I had never heard of that one. All right. So 50% of you say SQL and almost would say SQL. Yes, there's no consistency. I'm very curious about the other. Oh, is that you? How'd you say? Ah, that's cool. SQL. I like that. I always wonder why we say SQL, but like we don't we say SQS. We don't say squash or something like that. Or SNS. No, yes. Yeah. Well, there you go. Shall we see what's happened to the leaderboard? John, oh my God, John and Joe are look at that, but 7.77. So close. Right. John, Joe, Park, Ori. That's new. Who's Ori? All right. Catching. Are you cheating? Are you just looking what they put in there? All right. Okay. Now, question. Raise your hands if you want to do one more category or if you had enough. Actually, that doesn't make it there. I made it tricky on purpose. Is the hands had enough? One more? One more. One more to give you a chance to get 50 pounds. Have I said 50 pounds? I don't get 50 pounds. Storage? Why not? Okay. Although you guys love IoT, maybe we should do IoT. Okay, well, whatever, storage. Which one of the following statements is false about Amazon S3 Express 1 I actually researched that. Oh, yeah. Well, to be fair, like for London, I did one for each one. And then for London, I did like zone 1 or whatever it is. And for Brighton, because I cloned from Edinburgh, it's just, I forgot to customize it. But I don't know what kind of pun I will have for here. Huh? So, okay. And by the way, I'm not going to say, especially because it's live streaming, but I love the name of that. Uh, Yeah, I love the Shetlands. As a foreigner, I have to be very careful how to pronounce that. Right. So, S3. Does everybody use S3? Yeah, S3 very popular. If you don't use it, you probably know about it anyway. This is our object storage. This is like your go-to if you're going to store unstructured data like image, text, or whatever you want, right? Files. And it's used by many services behind the scenes as well. The scale of S3 is incredible. The durability even more. I don't even know the nines anymore. I was gonna say 11, but I thought maybe it have increased. So 11 nines, if you don't know what that means, is like 99.999. That's what it means when we say nines. Just industry terminology, not AWS. So yes, we released Adam. That was the first announcement that Adam did in his keynote. That was S3 Express 1 zone. As the name implies, it's only one availability zone. You choose the availability zone, and then that's it. No replication to the other ones. So you're trading resiliency for speed. This is the fastest S3 storage that you have now. Super fast, incredibly fast. So if you need like loads of requests and very fast, reduce your latency, you want to do that one if that's the kind of workload you have. Maybe it's I don't know, something on your website that it's very requested very often, whatever it is. This could be a really good one for you to use now. Like I said, it's trade-offs like anything in the industry and tech. So the trade-off here is that the one, resiliency, because it's not going to replicate to other availability zones, but also price. So the price dimension, I would say. So the price per storage is 7 times larger than the standard one, but the price for access, it's much lower. I forgot actually the times, maybe even 10, I don't know, I have to look it up, but it's much lower for access. So the pricing model is just being adjusted for you to prioritize over what you need, because maybe for you to cost optimize that workload, what's happening is that you're spending a lot on fast access or multiple access, and the faster they are, the less you're going to do maybe. So then you can go to this one instead of prioritizing on gigabytes. So have a look at that one. It's pretty nifty. Okay. Let's see. EFS. Who uses EFS? Not you, I'm guessing. All right. Elastic file system. This is just storage, like S3 storage, but this is a file system that you have, a network-based file system that you can use to, for example, share storage across different workloads or different techs, depending on what they're doing, whether it's SageMaker, whether it's something else. EFS had many updates as well, actually. And there are many things that you can do with the EFS anyway. EFS has many flavors, and one of these tiers now was intelligent, adaptive, whatever it is, intelligent tier anyway. So much like S3, it will actually figure out what is the best storage class for your EFS data if you want to put on the intelligent tier. And now we just dropped it. You don't have to do anything. We reduced the price by 36%. So if you're using that, you are paying less now. And that's that. And that's what we do. By the way, historically, we never ever rose any prices, only reduced them. So you can expect that from us. And EFS just dropped another one of those. Right there. Also, it now has an archive storage class, and this is for that kind of data that you only access, say, twice a year, right? So that really that infrequently, because you have like a 95-day minimum commitment to it in the pricing. But then if you put it there, then you will be saving a lot of money for that stuff that you don't access frequently. This could be things like, for example, although not the best place for it because we have other things that will make sense of it, but like, for example, security logs that you don't really use it, that you just log for the sake of logging, like web logs or whatever, say. And, if something happens in the future, we need to investigate, maybe we'll go back to those. That could be a place for it. Having said that, we do have Security Lake, and that's a better place for it because Security Lake can centralize the security logs like that, and then he can make sense of it because he understands that. So look at Amazon Security Lake. But if you're just going to store it and not care, maybe you could use it for that, for example. And then there's a bunch of other things as well. But okay, so Bonkers question. What is the capacity of the largest hard drive in the world currently? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Voila, tricky one. Ooh, that may have bumped you down and you may have lost 50 pounds. Wow. To clarify, 100 terabytes is the biggest SSD at the moment. Hard drive, 30 terabytes, which just came out actually by Seagate. I think it's just been commercialized now. I think literally this month in the UK. 1 petabyte now, but we are in the petabytes. By the way, something that in the larger events. So this tour, I'm doing a lot of this, and then in between, I do bigger events like that. We have got venues, multiple tracks, game day demos. It's like mini summits, really. The next one is doubling, and then there is London 2 days because of high demand. This is no marketing speak. Like before Christmas, we publish a London reinvent recap all day, mini summit type of event. No agenda published. We had like, I don't even forget, hundreds of registrations. So we're like, we need to add another one. So we add another date. So February 8th, February 9th, London, we have all day events. And like I said, mini summit type of things. And in the keynote, I mentioned how we are in the petabytes, and people don't realize that for a while, a lot of our customers have been in the petabytes. And actually a reinvent now, NetApp on tap, since we're on storage. Anyway, we just released support for Flex Group volumes. And that means that before you could do it, but you had to get like a bunch of AWS tools together with NetApp on tap. It's really hard to say, actually. Catchy, but hard to say. Quick. NetApp on tap tools to make this happen. But now you can go to FSX for NetApp on tap, and then just choose Flex Group Volume, and you can grow this file system to up to 20 petabytes. 20 petabytes. I just bought a 2 tera SSD for my PlayStation 5 as a little Christmas present for myself, and I was impressed. I mean, 20 petabytes, right? And some of our customers are on exabyte scale, by the way. And also in that keynote that I do at this event, I also mentioned how zettabytes, we're already there, not just one. This year alone, 2024, the world is expected to generate 120 zettabytes of data. Mental, right? Okay, so, I know, well, if you're interested, actually, I forgot it's 48 point something percent of that is videos. So I'm a big contributor. And cats, yes. Cool. Let's see who won 50 pounds. John, you were not bumped. Well done. Yeah. Clap, 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 clap. Joe, you came out of nowhere and then stay there on top, 25 pounds. And Nick, where that came from? Who's Nick? Damn, Nick. You did this on purpose. Like, I'm going to stay on the quiet and get 25 pounds. Well done. 25 pounds. Well done, everyone. Management governance, who cares about this, right? IoT, you all care a lot about this. Okay, since you all love IoT so much, what's free RTO? Does anybody know? Joe, I feel like giving you 50 pounds now. You deserve it. Right. This is an operating system that we have that we develop Amazon, and this is for microcontrollers, microprocessors, and all that. Really popular, open source. You can go on GitHub and do it. Well, release at reInvent is actually quite soft. It's just public roadmap. So if you know it, you love it. You can now even help us prioritize things. But the roadmap is now public. You can go on GitHub for that. Okay. So all right, and the winner is, well, we already know, John. 43 points. Cats. You just mentioned cats. There you go. You rigged it. Okay. So thank you very much. Please, 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 please leave this. I know QR code overload. Let me close this so it doesn't get confused. Please leave feedback. Very important because this tour only happened again, and now it's bigger and better with all these mini summit events in between. Because of feedback. It's very serious. Internally, we take feedback very seriously. I take feedback very seriously. This is how I help to make sure this region and the communities are alive and everything, to help you guys, help you, make this happen. It's feedback. And it's not just the good. You can throw a dagger through my heart. I love crying. Don't worry. Leave all the feedback that you need, that you want to convey, so I can make this bigger and better, and all the teams as well, including those guys there. Everybody at AWS values this a lot. So please leave it. And also you can follow me online at Cody Mateos everywhere, because I am fully rebranded for 2024. So yes, now LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I'm trying to be down with the kids, so I'm all TikToked now, dying this side of my head right now. Yeah, so I won't do that at TikTok, that's for sure. But anyway, thank you very, very, very much. And I hope to see you guys in Brighton again. And karaoke later, maybe.